Hi, I'm Rose Mortel, and today I'm going to show you how I go from this to this. It's going to be ugly loaf. Okay, so now I'm going to do my foundation, just using my Krylon paint stick. I'm not going to say what brush I'm using because, I don't know. Okay, now I'm just going to blend it all out. Okay, so now I'm going to just set my whole face with loose powder. That's the ASMR right there. Okay, so now I'm going to just map out my eye shape with one of my lighter eye colors. Take that out, love. So for this look, I'm doing a more tropical look, so I'm gonna go in with some green as well with the yellow here. Okay, so sometimes people ask me where my drag name comes from. So Rose is my middle name, and then Mortel is like really loosely translated to deadly in French, because I feel like my drag character, I feel like she's just a like kind of French femme fatale bitch, so that's where I got it from. This is gonna be such good ASMR, this blending. I hope you fall asleep to it. I don't want people to see me licking my brushes. Okay, so now I'm going to map out where my brows are going to be, and then I'm going to fill them in. Licking your brushes is key to getting perfect eyebrows. That's the Rose Mortel secret. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my foundation and just carve my eyebrows out to make them perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to add some foundation to the front of the eyebrow to fade it out. Now I'm just going to set those areas with more powder. Now I'm going to curve out my crease shape using Clown White. Okay, so now I'm just going to set the Clown White using some matte white eyeshadow. All the powders that I used for my eyes today are from the James Charles and Morphe palette. Okay, so now I'm going to do my massive winged eyeliner. I'm just carving out the shape that I want my wing, and then I'm gonna fill it all in with liquid liner. So my paint is very much inspired by this drag queen. Her name is Rosie Foe, but she does not do drag anymore, but she was an AFAB queen from Australia, and she still to this day I think has one of the most iconic and amazing paints that I've ever seen in my life. And I'd also be lying if I said that my paint wasn't inspired by Trixie, just like a little. So now I'm going to set the eyeliner with just some matte black eyeshadow. I always do one eye and then I try to just replicate it on the other eye because a lot of the time when I start painting I just don't know what I'm actually going to do, so I like to kind of finish one eye and then just move on to the other. I first got into makeup when I was in grade 10. I started watching, you know, beauty vloggers online like Manny and other interesting people, and then from there it progressed into me just doing kind of more out there makeup instead of just basic makeup. And then I fell in love with drag and started to play around with that, and now here we are. My favorite kind of number to do is when I paint myself like a porcelain doll, which I'm not doing today, but it's my favorite kind of number to perform and one of my favorite looks to do. When I first debuted, that was the type of look and number that I did, and I just recently performed a kind of upgraded version of my debut number at Club 200, and it was really fun to get to go back there and do it a bit more vamped up. When I'm not doing a kind of doll look or doll number, I love performing Taylor Swift. It's one of my favorite artists to perform. She's a snake, so am I. It's okay if you leave that in there. I feel like I need to like pray before I do this eyebrow. This isn't it, love. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so trying to paint two eyebrows exactly even is not the easiest. And that's why I carve them out with concealer every time. And then they still don't look even, but it's okay. Because if you wear big hair, it'll cover them. I'm glad they're getting the authentic experience of me like having a mental breakdown about this. Thanks, love. So cool. I'm really... I have to scream. Okay, so once you've been trying to get your brows even for like an hour, you're just gonna fuck up the good one so that they match. They're even, and no one can tell me otherwise. That's it. Are they not tired of fucking shrieking? Fuck love. I have to go. So my favorite part of doing my drag makeup is my contour and when the lashes go on, because I feel like that's when it changes my face the most. I wear lots of makeup in my everyday life, so even though these eyes are really big, it still doesn't necessarily feel like that big of a change to me for some reason. So I feel like the contour just really, that's when I feel the most, I guess, transformed is when I do that. So next I'm moving on to my contour, And I just take a flat edge and I try to make it go all the way from my hairline to the corner of my mouth. This contour is inspired by Rosie Faux and Trixie Mattel. They both do a pretty similar contour, but honestly, I feel like Rosie kind of did it first, not gonna lie. And that's a scandal. So I just go in with a darker contour shade and go along the bottom of it and towards the hairline, and I always try to make those a bit darker. So I always match the card up to the corner of my mouth and then to the center of my ear so that I try to keep it as even as possible on each side. Thanks for ruining the video, love. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in with my foundation and clean up the contour because I like it to be very, very straight and clean. Then I'll just go back in with my powder brush to make sure that it's all set. Just going in with some like peachy pink blush, and I used to not really wear blush when I did drag, or I'd just wear like the tiniest amount that you couldn't even tell, but Peppermint Phattie taught me the ways, and now I feel like my face is incomplete unless I am wearing a good amount of blush on it. So now I'm just going back in with the lighter contour shade and the same brush, and I'm just going to contour my forehead and hairline a little bit so that it matches the rest of my face. Okay, so now I'm going to take my lighter contour shade and just take it along my jawline, but only on the sides, not on the center. I do this to get the appearance that I am, in fact, a skinny legend. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in with some peach and kind of lavender colored highlighter. A lot of queens in the city don't wear highlighter, but I feel like they should just try it out at least once. Oh, that's my stomach. I hope the camera got that. Okay, so now I'm just going in with a small brush and the lighter contour shade I was using before. Just gonna try and map out the exact shape that I want my nose contour to be, which I typically like to make it pretty pointy towards the end. And I'll just carve out both sides and then blend it out and fill in the center with highlighter. No. Everyone already knows that I won't answer this question. But I could say oh no, that's kind of scandalous too, to like say a top 3, because like, actually, I know I have like a top 5, like that immediately like comes to my mind, but I'm not sure if I should say it. So some of my favorite queens to watch perform in the city have to be, of course, my drag mom Feather, because I feel like she does comedy like the absolute best out of like not just queens locally, but like out of any queen I've seen. I feel like Feather can do any type of number, and yeah, I hope to be able to be like that one day. Okay, so now I'm going to put my lashes on. I'm just wearing a single pair of 301s today. So I just put like a pretty thin layer of glue on, but in the inner and outer corner of the lash, then I just put a little bit extra on it. And so I went to Fort Frances for their Pride, and we're at doing drag brunch there, and Perry commented on my eyelash and told me I should glue them on how she does, which was her subtle read for telling me that my eyelash was kind of sagging down in the outer corner. So now I glue my lashes on kind of diagonally, and in the outer corner I like push them up so that they're glued up and always kind of stay up. So my favorite part of getting out of drag has to be taking my wig off and taking my lashes off. I very often fall asleep with the rest of my makeup on, like almost all the time. But I'm trying to stop because that's gross. So now I'm just going back in with the black eyeshadow and kind of touching up anywhere that the eyeliner came off from the lash glue when I was trying to get them perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back with my liquid liner and draw my bottom lashes on. A few people, Frida, have told me or suggested that I wear real lashes on the bottom, but I just really like the look of drawing on the bottom lashes, like kind of cartoony. So I just draw individual triangles and I make them bigger as we go towards the outside of the eye. So I just put mascara on my real lashes, but obviously only on the top, just so that they are black and blend in with my eyeliner and my fake lashes, because they get powder and stuff on them when I'm painting my face, and I just want them all to blend in really well. So for my lips, I honestly just overdraw my real lips and kind of wing it, and I just let them become whatever shape they become most of the time. Okay, so now that my makeup is done, I'm just gonna go get a little bit more glammed up for y'all. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Rose Mortel, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rose_Mortel. Thanks for watching, love. For watching this video. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rose_Mortel. Thanks for watching my ASMR. Get ready with me. Was that good, love?